evening, Brighton. My name is Roseblade and I'm 54 years old. Yay! Yes, it deserves far less than that. But thank you. Because 54 is the age at which a man goes from getting it up several times a night to getting up several times a night. And 54 is the age at which a man takes like several days of planning, several hours of waiting, and a prescription just to get a spontaneous erection. But at 54, I can bring a full 37 years of sexual experience to bear to ensure that my lover will get the very best night of uninterrupted sleep. Because there is nothing happening down there anymore. The libido has left the building. I've transformed like Optimus past his prime into being an old man. I have the mind of an in-betweener, but the body of an in-decliner. There's nothing left. I've been obsessed about sex all my adult life, and now I can't. And I needed a new obsession, and a mate said to me, Matt, why don't you take up golf? And I thought, golf? Fuck, has it come to that? But I gave it a try, and now I know why golf is so very popular. You know how sometimes you wake up and you've been asleep on your arm and your arm is numb? And British law requires you to attempt some form of masturbation. You don't want to, but oh God, it's the law, you have to. And your hand doesn't grip, so you've got to gaffer tape your hand around your cock. And your forearm doesn't move, so you've got to shake from the shoulder. And you look for all the world like Quasimodo getting off on some Esmeralda porn. And thank you for laughing at that 19th century French literature gag. You're a great crowd. And the reason you cannot successfully masturbate under those conditions is that you do not have fine motor control. You can't move your fingers. So golf, right? I tried golf. And I got the sticks, and I got the ball, and I did the whacking, and every time I did the whacking, it jarred my forearm. The force of hitting the ball jarred my forearm, jarred my wrist, jarred my hand, and it began to take its toll. And by the time I was on the 12th hole, my forearm, my hand, my wrist, completely numb, but with full, fine motor control. And that's why golf is so popular. It's because golf is the gateway to masturbation nirvana. Can't be any other reason. And I gave it a try and I looked at the golfers, and apart from the massive benefits of the wanking, I thought, essentially golf is just a bunch of badly dressed wankers in a field. And I don't want to be a field wanker, a hedgerow wanker, a communal garden wanker. I want to be a special sort of wanker. And my mate said to me, well, Matt, you're doing all right. Why don't you get a Porsche? And I thought, yes! Yes! Porsche wanker! What better wanker could there be? Who could not want to be a Porsche wanker? That is the pinnacle of wankery. And then he said, and of course, if you get a Porsche, you're going to get a girlfriend half your age. And that is a fantastic opportunity for any young woman who doesn't get enough sleep. So, well-educated citizens of Brighton, I am 54 years old, so a girlfriend half my age would be? 27 is right. Unfortunately, I've already turned 55, and I asked this question in Portsmouth last week, and the maths fucked them right up. Even with that extra finger. And that is not the scariest number of Porsche ownership. I did some research. A Porsche 911 GT4 brand new has running costs of 97 pence a mile. For work, I drive about 20,000 miles a year, so that is £19,400 a year just to drive around in a Porsche. That is £373 a week just to drive around in a Porsche. That is 7 15-minute blow-and-go quickies with an independent sex worker of your choice, and enough money left over to ensure that every day is steak and blowjob day. Who would buy a Porsche? Let's put it to the test. We're a democracy. Who would spend their money on a sports car? And who would spend their money getting professionally sucked off every day? I've destroyed Porsche's business model. The green revolution starts here. At least it may do for you. It doesn't for me. You see, I have young children, so I don't need a sports car. And I have a wife, so I don't need a girlfriend half my age. And I'm a happily married man. I don't need blowjobs. Apparently. This year, it is our 20th wedding anniversary, my wife and I. Yay! Yay! That does deserve more. She's been stuck with me for 20 years. Yay! Yay! That's good. I'm just geeing you up because the traditional gift for 20 years of marriage is a gift made of China. Yay! Yeah, that is far more than a tea set deserves. Tea set deserves derision. Luckily, the modern gift for 20 years of marriage is a gift made of platinum. Yeah, that's much more exciting, isn't it? And the likely gift for 20 years of marriage in the Roseblade household is the gift of a rather grudging handjob. I wonder what she's going to get me. So, although we've been married nearly 20 years, we have been together a long time. She was my first proper girlfriend. And throughout our relationship, the music that I'm into is how we make love. Let me explain. When we first got together, we were young. We were teenagers. We were into punk. And our sex was just like a punk song. It was fast, it was energetic, it was vigorous. It lasted about 3 minutes. There was quite a lot of spitting. And then we got into metal. And our sex was just like metal. There was lots of leather, lots of studs, lots of... And then it all went wrong. We got married, we had children, we entered the, oh God, do we have to have sex years? And that wasn't down to the marriage, that wasn't down to the children, that was down to me getting into prog rock. Progressive rock music, and we fucked like progressive rock music. Just not really very nice to listen to. Goes on tediously long, and always needs a very long solo to finish. But fortunately, the children have got a bit older. My wife and I, we've rediscovered each other. We've rediscovered the sex, we've rediscovered the passion, and we have rediscovered 90s rave. Because sex at 55 is just like 90s rave. Only ever really happens on a Saturday night. Quite often cancelled at very short notice. Albeit not by a fleet of police cars, usually. But sex at 55 is mostly like 90s rave, because nothing really happens until the pills kick in. My name has been Matt Roseblade. You have been a fantastic audience. Thank you very much and good night. Over back to Paul. Hey!